Hello everyone and welcome to Ero Pc F3, where today we are going to be racing at the at Monza. So you may be wondering where David is. Well, David's not here this week, so they're just on to PC2 and robbed me for today. So I need to get the telemetry stuff up, and we are good to go. Right, so. This is the final round of the season here in Ero Pc F3, where the stream looks absolutely terrible on my other screen. Hold on, let me fix this. Alright, there we go. We are here for the final round. Paul Hill has already won the championship in this tier. He won it, I believe, in Singapore, which was 2 rounds ago. So, apparently I've heard he might be doing a last to first today, which would be interesting. But at the front we have the 2 Alpha Tauris, so we shall we'll jump on board with Mitch, who's the furthest around the track here, and we'll give you a quick rundown of this track. So, I think all the stuff on the stream's correct, and if it's not, then let me know in the stream comments, because I don't know, just having it up on my second monitor is absolutely broken, and yeah, that doesn't work. So, anyways, on board with Mitch then for this first lap. Onto the start finish straight he comes near then, and across the line. And so, to start a lap, down towards turn 1 and 2, I'm not going to pretend I even know the corner names because I haven't bothered looking yet, because I was literally brought in last second, but it takes that quite nicely, and well, Mitch uses automatic gear, so I can't say shifts up to 3rd or 4th on exit, but managed to get that quite nicely, and that sector 1 done quite a fast flowing corner, as then you just want to chuck it in, try not to die in the curbs to death, and then into Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. Mitch doesn't exactly push it fully through Lesmo 1, and same with Lesmo 2, but just for a banker, this will be a fine lap. Onto the second DRS straight of this track, and into Ascari, and quite an easy place to invalidate sometimes, so you can try either cut the inside curb too much or run a bit over what then becomes the inside curb as you take the corner, and then through Parabolica to finish the lap, and then up to the line. It's going to be a 21.5 for Mitch, as Paul's out on wets. Right.
Good evening, Luke. Apologies for my tardiness.
Nah, that's alright.
I'm here now. And I actually know corner names, so I can help you with that one.
Yeah, probably. I haven't bothered looking because I'm not normally needed till tomorrow.
Imagine having to look up corner names at Monza. They haven't changed in like 500 years.
I just don't naturally know all of them. Anything past the first sector, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But
speaking of the first sector, her guy Pena has just had a bit of a moment through Retafilio, the first chicane, and he's managed to spin from the inside of turn 2 into the escape road. So that's going to, if he was going for a second push lap, that's not going to end well, particularly for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paul isn't. I don't know why is Paul on wets. You never figured that out yet?
I don't know. I assume. I don't know. He's going for a lap on wets.
Shall we ride on board with Paul on wets?
Then. Why not? Let's see how this works. Hopefully he doesn't get in the way of the Red Bull behind, but honestly...
Yeah, so of course the Temple of Speed reaches 208 miles an hour coming down the pit straight. Has to brake a lot for Retafilio. It takes
it takes to the gravel.
Yeah, it takes the Max Verstappen line.
As Rusnak goes quickest.
And then Fruity, who I don't have his name on.
That's Rusnak.
Ah, okay. That explains a lot, because he didn't add me, even though I told people to.
I don't have people added, but luckily I know people's names.
Yeah, makes his way through Curva Grande. Jordan's going out on wets as well, so Alfa Romeo strategy team rolling the dice, I guess. And then into Della Roggia, and gets on all sorts of sausage curbs you're not supposed to touch. There was actually and he's alive!
Somehow.
The front wing's not, I think, but he is.
There's only his end plate missing.
Yeah, those sausage curbs on the right hand side of Della Roggia. Yeah, I think you can tell that Paul plays with no traction control.
Yeah.
The car's not happy at all. There was actually someone in a tier last year that got beached on those. So that can happen, don't spin out at Della Roggia.
Someone got beached at Hungary last year as well, I remember that.
Yeah.
The curbs are just
and Australia.
Yeah, the curbs are horrible at the best of times.
The full sausage sleeping policeman curbs, they will beat your car.
Yeah. Hopefully that is going to happen today, actually, I was going to say, because I'm taking my own time, so hopefully it's something interesting. As a very white line here.
We'll just have it wet, and we'll have, similar to the F1 sprint race last season, whoever starts 15th ends up first by turn 1, upside down in the escape road.
Well, he's off to the pits. He might as well have finished the lap, taking the lap time. Sure, it would have put him close to pole.
Imagine.
Oh, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we've seen Paul racing in tiers higher than PC F3, and well, he's not always consistently at the front, but he's very competitive, especially in PC F2.
He's pretty good in PC F2. He's in and around the points at least every time he's raced with us, so that's pretty good. And then I think he's only jumped up into PC1 once, which was Singapore, and he essentially had the world's worst weekend with 3 races at Singapore. So.
Yeah. He tried recovering his PCF3 race by racing PCF2, which then just made it even worse. And then he tried in PCF1 and then
PCF1 and
Singapore's just not his track.
Yeah, so
Paul's now swapped to Inters, so it's getting a bit drier.
We're improving, yeah.
Track conditions are better as Backlit goes purple in the first sector, but he hasn't done a lap, so I don't think I want to believe the game just yet. As when you don't set a lap, the game likes to just give you purple sectors.
Very aggressive through Last Moment too. Almost invalidated the lap on the inside, which I don't think I've ever seen.
Yeah, that would. I'm not sure I've seen that either, to be fair. As he's still purple coming into.
Yeah, it's open into Ascari. Ascari takes it pretty well. Has to have a slight lift in the middle though. Doesn't quite get that line right through the second part through the right hander, where it is kind of easy to lose the cars. It has to do a slight lift, which is going to cost him all the way down here and run to Parabolica. Gets in on the apex quite nicely. Gets on the power pretty early. Runs it out nice and wide. Wants to cut back to the inside here, minimise the distance to that start-finish line, which he does do, and it's a 21 flat. So still half a second off Rusnak, but it does put him on the front row.
Yeah, I mean, Kent's now trying his lap on wets, and
Spicy.
It's actually going a lot quicker for
yeah,
Kent.
103.5 at sector 2. I mean, that's probably quicker than I'm going to be tomorrow.
That's 10 seconds off what the soft. Well, that's 10 seconds off Backlit, so. I mean.
I stand by what I said. Probably quicker than I'll do tomorrow.
Yeah. He's off to the pits as well, yeah. Paul's now on Inters, so.
Yeah, and for some reason terrible at Monza. I don't know why. There's like 6 corners. How can I be that bad?
I'm not good at it either, so I mean, yeah. We have Hegoi, who's gone purple in sector 2, but is actually down on his time. And gets on the exit curve a bit at Ascari, and yeah, manages to keep the car.
Bit of a moment. May need a change of race suit before the race.
Yeah, probably.
But again, goes down to 4th into Parabolica. Gets slightly on the inside curve, which is going to slightly unsettle the car as he tries to power his way out of Parabolica and to the line with a 22.4. So he actually didn't improve, unfortunately. So he's going to stay P10 for now, but he might be looking for that alternate strategy.
I was slightly confused when he went down to 4th, because I normally take the corner in 6th, so slight difference.
I think I go down to 4th at the start of the race, like when you're heavy on fuel, just
to
coax the nose in. but in quali, I think I'd take him for 5th.
We have Karalak, who's improving on his time now into Parabolica, so see how he takes this. It's down to 5th and quite nice through there. Choosing to go wide to the line, so he's probably going for back-to-back runs potentially as he goes to 5th, and he's actually backed off, so no, he's not. Oh, Mitch is round at Ascari, and he was
My favourite place.
slightly down on his tyre.
My last league race at Monza, I died twice at Ascari. Once in quali, once in the race.
Yep. As
The con does
Palacios
not agree with me.
in the Alpha Tower, he's 2 tenths up as he goes now into the Lesmos. And Kent's also trying into, so I think the Alfa Romeos is trying every comp and see what's best here.
Good lines through the Lesmos. Lesmo 1 very aggressive, gets right up to the outside of the track, but manages to keep the lap. Maybe scared himself slightly, so it was a little bit safer in Lesmo 2, but shouldn't have cost him much in the way of time. Aggressive on the way into Ascari as well. But he takes that inside curb on the exit, and it's going to force him to run wide as he has to catch the car. So that's going to be unfortunate. That would have been a pretty good time, I think. I mean, he's currently sat P3. So
that probably could have just about been into the 1 minute 20s, I think, for him. As he was a bit...
I think definitely a chance to jump back like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he'd have got anywhere near us now. Who was mighty at Jeddah, so I think he just likes the really, really fast kind of
Oh my, that
tracks.
was a close call. It's just unwanted Churek, and Hegoi left him but the tiniest bit of room you could ever have on the inside of whatever that long sweeping turn is in Sector 1.
Curva Grande.
Yeah, Curva Grande, there we go.
Italian for big curve. The Italians have great corner names. Yeah, they have big curves. Big curve. At Imola, you've got high chicane. Yeah, so you know.
Oh, someone's been to Della Roger, and he's gone a bit. It's a bit far after Della Roger, actually.
Probably had a bit of a moment trying to catch the car.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I just jumped on the board with Paul to try and see what had happened, and he's currently going the wrong way.
And he's been disqualified, there you go.
So, last to first, part 1 complete.
Yep. Just the other one there. I'm on board with, I'm going to butcher this name horribly, Kopidlovsky. He's just, as I said his name, he's just invalidated.
Yeah. And well, I mean, David's not here, so we have to continue the commentator's curse.
That's a good point, actually.
Requirement that I think David set up for PC F3.
Alright, so who do we fancy cursing?
I want to make sure I'm in the same tier as him next season, just so he can't commentators curse me, because he absolutely will.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing. Who do we want to curse? Anyone in particular? Fancy?
Yeah, I mean, John's come to the line on Inters. I wonder what sort of time he's going to do, if he's going to do a time or he's going to play in the pits. No, he's going to do a time. He's going to be a cool 10 seconds off the pace.
Yeah. I mean, considering he's on Inters, fair enough.
Sammy jumps up to a 21.8 in the Red Bull and pushes Jardim in the Ferrari out of the top 10 and onto that alternate strategy by 0.006 of a second.
I mean, honestly, he might have been hoping that he was maybe 7,000 slower on that lap now.
Right,
however, he's purple in Sector 1 now and a half a second off.
Where has he found that?
I assume he was just not taking turn 1 at all.
Big moment through the first Lesmo. He's kept the lap though, and it might not have cost him half a second.
I was going to say, he might still be able to slightly improve, as his teammate was there, but...
No toe.
No toe, yeah.
Shocking.
As Kent's also been disqualified, and he's still 2 tenths up here.
So yeah, world's biggest moment through the first Lesmo's cost him 3 tenths. There's another moment through Ascari, somehow keeps the lap.
Yeah, I was
going
to
full
say,
four-wheel
like
drift. I'm sure he was out of the limits there, but the game lets him have it.
Well,
and as we all know, F1 2021 is a perfect game with no issues.
Oh,
but he doesn't want it Parabolica, but keeps that as well.
Yeah,
taking
and he's
this
going
Daniel
to the pits
Ricciardo
anyway.
line, but he's pitting because I think he realises that lap was kind of bogus.
Well, I'm on board with Karalak, and he's... Well, the timing literally just said plus minus, so he's equal.
Yeah. exact with his old first sector. Gets a bit of a moment through Lesmo 1 though, so unless he had a terrible sector 2 on his fastest current lap,
for me,
he's going to have to find some time somewhere in sector 3.
For me, he just teleported on the exit of Lesmo 2 and gained about a 10th. But he's barely down on his time.
Yeah, he teleported and lost 100th, so that's a legal teleport.
And he almost completely let off the throttle there fully through Ascaria's. Mitch has gone out on mediums, even though he set his fastest time on softs already, so maybe
the delta's not too big here, though. It's only maybe 6 or 7 tenths, so there is a possibility he can beat that.
Well, the track evolution is good enough for him.
Pick up a toe somewhere.
As Karalak improves and jumps Mitch, and also Churek.
Nice little group of 3, very close there.
Oh, and there we go. There's the curse. I just swap over to Kopatlovsky, and he just goes straight into a wall.
He did.
Jardim's also gone, but that was in the pits, I think. I didn't see Mitch's.
Strange to see people retiring so early from.
Oh, Churek's gone.
Oh wow, yeah, Kopatlovsky's in the middle of the track.
And Churek's also beached in a barrier at the exit of Lesmo 1.
How's he done that?
I don't know. It's PC F3. We don't need to question these things. Anything can happen.
Things happen, yes. Sammy's going to have to be aware here. He's got Saitaroon right behind him in the heart on a flying lap. Sammy's on his out lap, so that Rebel's going to need to get out of the way. And it might not matter too much now as Sai runs very wide. Delaroche backed out the lap. And if you backed out because of the mistake, or maybe you lost time behind the Red Bull. But you should have enough fuel on board to get around and do a flying lap again here. I'm pretty sure min fuel at Monza's quite a lot, but he's going to have to get a bit of a wriggle on to make it to the line. He's only got 45 seconds to get there and start his lap.
As on board with Rusnak, he's improving on his time. So good go even quicker here, and does hit into the barrier.
Big moment at Lesmo 1 again. That might be a bit of a catch-out corner.
People seem to be struggling more with Lesmo 1 than 2, which isn't normally the case.
I mean, I find 2 fine. I get track limits shit. But in terms of, like, spinning the car, I find Lesmo 2 fine. The thing that bites me is always Ascari.
I just get too aggressive on the exit curb at Lesmo 2. Oh, and there's someone else there, Ascari. As you literally say Ascari, someone's gone there. And also, as I'm talking about Lesmo 2, someone's off the track there.
Oh, God.
So
this could be a race of surviving.
So we've cursed 2 people in the space of about 10 seconds there.
Yeah.
They're going to be very proud of us.
Yeah, I think this might be a race of, instead of it being so much last to first for the Alfa Romeo boys, it might just be last to only finishes.
Last to of all the commentators curse you.
Backlick improves by 1,000th of a second.
Keeler here, he was on the front half a second up. Let's see where he's going to go, and it's about a 10th and a half behind Rusnak and goes second. So
just put him on that front row though, so might give him a chance to get down the inside into De La Roger on the into Retafilio on the first lap.
I was going to say, I wonder if Mitch is doing anything on the mediums, and he's got no front wing.
If he doesn't get monstered by somebody down into that first turn. But Sammy's going to come to the line here. This is going to complete qualifying. He's 6 tenths up and loses a load of time in sector 3 though. But does manage to jump Pena for yeah, always. Does manage to jump Pena for P9, so slightly better starting position. Although anything can happen here. Like, this is the most dangerous turn 1 on the calendar. I think the Alfa Romeos have played the best idea for strategy. Just start at the back, let everybody else die when you get there, and then you'll be fine. Just pick your way through the chaos.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that's the end of qualifying. Rusnak takes pole. I think that's like his 3rd or 4th of the season now. Since he's joined PCF3, as he's going quite late, he's actually, well, he's challenged quite near the top consistently, and well, that's just makes it all the more interesting. Except for if people just start to run away with it, which, I mean, in PCF3, anything can happen because genuinely someone could be about 3 seconds off the pace in quali and then all of a sudden go and win the race.
Wait, I didn't realise Mitch had won a race.
Nah, nah, he hasn't.
He'll watch this back and he'll yell at me.
I mean, it's his own fault for consistently either choosing the wrong strategy or driving into a wall. But anyway.
Driving into a wall is the wrong strategy. So it's fine.
I mean, honestly, it depends. If it's Monaco with no damage, then I think driving into the wall's the best strategy. I think that's the only exception. So, and it's a dry
Ideal
race.
wall break. Oh.
I was hoping for something interesting.
I'm hoping
I mean, honestly,
very
PC
often,
F3 could probably improve on the scenes from PC F1's sprint race last season.
Probably.
That
It couldn't get much worse.
I mean, we'd have to have about 3 people upside down in the escape road on the podium, and then you might be close to beating it. Or just let one person lose it for a Scary Ghost 10,000 and just let a whole group pile up. And just create some car, just stick it on top of another one, and there you go, you might as well have taken the award for how much can you break Monza.
So we've got a split strategy from the Alfa Romeos at the back. Jordan's going with softs, Paul's choosing the mediums, along with the Haas of Saitun, and Jose Jardim in the Ferrari's got mediums as well. But Kopadilovsky has chosen those tyres, so he's going to be able to make up some places. Clear Jardim as quickly as possible, and hopefully get on the back of this top 10 and start making up places as people make mistakes, or maybe he just thinks he's got a bullet set up and he's going to be monstrous in a straight line.
Well, I guess we'll just have to see as... I don't have... Oh, that's Sammy off track at De La Roja.
Start, you mean to go on?
Yeah.
No damage on the formation lap, so you're fine. Best to bin it now if you're going to do it.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and he's just nearly got straight into the back of Pena, but he's just trying to get back up to where he was. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
No one's fully binned it yet on the formation lap.
Jardim's leaving a massive gap though. You shouldn't do this. This is a penalty.
Maybe about 36 the car lengths are here. Could be more, honestly.
Yeah, like at least. Yeah, you're supposed to stay within sort of 10, 12, 15 car lengths. Nothing, ridiculous.
I think we're pushing 50 now.
Probably. You're just weaving along at 94 miles an hour now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I swear someone
Contact
just got
through Parabolica from Turek and Fernandez. Which is going to disqualify them about 12 meters before the line anyway, so shouldn't make too much of a difference.
Jardim's finally made it to the bit where he's going to get taken over in a second. So there you go. And, well, the guys at the front are going to be wondering what's going on, because they've been there quite a while now.
It will make a difference though with getting disqualified very late. Like for Turek and Fernandez, they're not really going to lose anything here because the tyre's going to maintain about as much temperature as the guys at the front anyway, because of how late they got disqualified. But next game, it will teleport you to about 3 meters behind your pit box if you get disqualified on a formation lap. So that's not going to be ideal for people that just like driving into each other on formation laps.
Well, Monza gives a good camera angle. The answer is no.
It's not terrible.
There we go.
5 lights. That's a long hold, but
yeah,
Monza is away at the Temple of Speed, and we're going to have a bit of a swap, I think, from the AlphaTauris. We've got a poor start from Palacios, and Mitch is going to move up into 4th place, and maybe look to get a move down on back on the inside of Retafilio, but they're going to file through a pretty much single file. Fernandez has to take to that little bit of the skate road on the inside, bounce over the curbs, but manages to keep 6th place for now. And Kopadilovsky's already been jumped by both of the Alfa Romeos. And Paul Hill's also got past Jardim off the start as well. And John's going to try a move into De La Roja and see if he can pass the Ferrari as well. But thinks better of it, just backs out. Doesn't really want to go side by side through then get launched over one of the space curbs. But Rusnak's got away really well and already has a 7/10 lead at the front.
Backlick's very close to the back of Keeler.
Second.
Yeah.
Backlick might look at a move here, or he might just be wanting to sit this close, save some of his battery years, saved more off the start. and possibly wait until DRS to make a really easy move.
Yeah.
As Alfa Romeo's up to 11th and 12th already. So they're already on the back of the points. Looking to see what they can do in the remaining 26 and a third laps. Backlick's actually underfueled his car as well, so he's definitely banking on safety cars here, which might explain why his start was essentially rocket-based.
There's a bit of wheel banging there between the McLaren of Karolak and Churek, as Karolak tried going up the inside into parabolic, and that's now going to invite Paul onto the back of the McLaren, who's...
Paul's just going to have a better drive here, but he's deploying a lot of battery to try and make this move, but he's going to have the inside line into turn 1.
As the McLaren's going to go deep and cuts across him a bit there.
There's contact in the middle of the corner. That's the Max Verstappen line. But luckily he hasn't parked it on top of Paul, so both the drivers are going to be able to compete for now. But
so
that's just about the second Alfa Romeo to have a drive around the outside of Curva Grande and look to make a move into Della Roggia. Get down the inside here and try to avoid these spacey curbs, because someone's going to go flying if you don't.
And there's been contact
very well,
there.
manages to defend the position.
I've seen someone's lost something, and it's Paul who's lost an end plate. I think he hit into the back of them as they were going side by side, and didn't expect them to be so slow on the exit. Oh, someone's gone in the background, and that's Citroen 8 this race. I don't know his name, so I'm just going to go with...
Citroen. That is
literally his name.
And that is a virtual safety car, so if this lasts until they get back to the pits, it's going to give Paul a cheap pit stop to repair that front wing.
And Sammy has binned it under VSC.
Under safety car. That's not ideal. I mean, Ascari's kind of murder, but you need to be safe with that under safety car. And we've got guys in at the front.
As Palacios gets a 5-second penalty.
Click takes the lead with Mitch behind him as the front three all pit. Are we going mediums? Yeah, so Rosnak's gone mediums.
Everyone's got mediums.
Yeah, as have Palacios and
Paul's
Keeler.
also pitted from his medium tyres as well.
So this might be Paul on hards here to go to the end.
No, he's going mediums again.
Mediums again. Okay, so Paul is requiring another pit stop.
Oh no, he had a damage from a wing.
He did.
Forgot about
but he's still going to need another pit stop.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was going to go onto the hard tyres just to go to the end. So I wonder if these guys are going to get 25, 26 laps out of the mediums. Might be possible, but I think they're going to be pretty terrible at the end.
Yeah. VSC's lasting quite a while. We're almost at the point where it was brought out now. And Mitch backing off here, so maybe he's trying to get a better restart with the Delta. As he's actually gained quite a lot down the straight now, actually. Well, he lost it and then regained a whole second, so I don't know.
But I think
and
the gap
also
was
completely
that's a big cut. Fine, no one died. But Peña's got himself up to third place, due in part to those pit stops. I think did he start 10th?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
10th. He's running in the podium places.
Yeah.
That's a bit mental from the Alpine driver. He's had a cracking start. And DRS will be enabled this lap.
So is it just me, or if next time Churek's on the straight, go on board with him, it looks like he just waits about 10 extra seconds he needs to. Oh my, I thought he wasn't going to have another straight then. As he went straight into the back of the Ferrari. And
I don't know what wings Peña's running.
but
he was doing 214 miles an hour.
Right.
Coming into turn 1. So that's an actual bullet. This might be 1-1 wings in a full effect.
Yeah. I'm so confused. It just looks like Churek's just not gearing up. It's like he lets his revs go. It's like he's destroying his gearbox, essentially, is his plan.
It's the last race for this gearbox and this engine, so I think he's kind of fine with killing it, as long as it lasts the road.
If this was a driver career, then he'd probably be gone after about 3 races. And he wouldn't reach the required amount to have a new one for free, so...
Grid penalties in F122, let's go.
Yeah.
We need to add that. We need random failures in league racing.
Because you know what would happen? There'd just be one driver every single race who always gets a penalty.
It would be me.
As we have Peña here, who's just at the fastest lap, and now he's got DRS and using the battery, so that thing's going to be even more of a bullet. And he's there you go 216 as he's going to try to the inside of Mitch, but not quite close enough.
But Mitch manages to defend that line quite well. And Peña's not using any battery through Curva Grande, which, if anything, is possibly a better overtaking opportunity than Retafilio.
Yeah.
He's not going to be close enough to have a look really into Della Roggia. And thinks about it and then thinks, actually, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be happily sit in third, as Fernandez is pressuring Turek behind them as well. But there's like a 3-second gap now between the front three and everyone else. But John Kent is closing in on this fight for fourth, using those soft tyres to full effect as his teammates currently last.
Yeah, just looking at what Paul was doing, he's just locking up at... Oh, hello! In Ascari, they're trying to go side by side here, and Mitch is... Well, he's on the grasses. Oh, my Peña's nearly left that, but he's managed to catch it.
The place back.
But honestly, realistically, that's kind of tactical, as he's going to get DRS now.
Yeah, he somehow didn't lose anything from that. I don't really know how. So he's still going to be within 3/10 coming down onto the pit straight with the DRS here. Which is points of battery to defend.
The last thing I thought I would see today is people trying to go side by side at Ascari.
Yeah.
As Peña, again, 250 in heat up this time. And going to try and move on Mitch. He's going to try brake late on the inside as... Peña hits a bit of the inside curb, but manages to get the move cleanly.
Squeeze on the outside of two, but I think all legal and above board. And yeah, that's going to promote the Alpine driver into PD. Look at him drive off through Curva Grande.
Oh, that's yellow flags.
And we've got yellow flags behind.
And
that's
looks
at turn
like
one.
Keeler, I think.
Yeah. Keeler's had a moment, almost has a second one as he gets on the grass.
Jurek's going to go for a move on Mitch into Lesmo 1. And they're going to go side by side, and that's contact, and Jurek's into the wall and out.
Oh,
that's unlucky.
Big crash. That's a safety car.
Yeah.
That's a full safety car. So I think we'll see the rest of our soft starters in the pits now to put some mediums on to go about 18 or 19 laps to the end.
I feel kind of bad for Jurek. The one tiniest bit of the wall sticking out, he's managed to hug the inside curb all the way around and then hit that. I mean...
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Not what you want, but anyway, it's going to leave on the softs. Honestly, I don't know how annoyed Mitch will be at that. As, I mean, he gets a pit now, but he doesn't have a front wing, so it's going to lose him a lot of time in the pits. But so yeah, I think literally everyone will pit, and if they don't, then
yeah, I think everybody on the softs absolutely is going to pit.
Just as Jordan's up to 4th.
Yeah. So he's doing last to first pretty well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we got Bakalik and Peña going on the medium tyres.
Is Rusnak going to come out in the lead?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh no,
unless Bakalik can get him.
Bakalik, it's going to be close.
That safety car line first.
Rusnak shouldn't have backed off there. He should have just gone for it. Oh no,
Paul's doing his Singapore strategies.
Oh my. Well, last to first in the bin.
Well, maybe. We just need more safety cars.
Yeah, yeah, everyone goes for medium except for Sammy.
Hernandez has gone on
he's got softs as well.
Sammy actually DC'd before
the
game's
was
giving him
hards. Oh no.
Cheers, game. I love you too. He might pit again here, just put some mediums on. He's only going to lose 3 places after Paul serves his drive-through, so it's probably worth it.
Yeah.
There's going to be something kicks off in front of him as well, and he may actually, if he gets a reel on here to catch up to this safety car, he might be able to jump Jard him. Safety car's pretty quick around here. Oh, as he gets airborne at Della Roggia. Almost binned it on the safety car, and we've got a Ferrari round at the first Lesmo. Yeah. Fernandez has managed to spin out on his brand new soft tyres. So
well, Sammy's gone past him, and then almost just flying off the track at Lesmo 2. I thought you would have been told to give that place back, but clearly not.
It was probably still obviously there's full track. Yeah, that's gonna be a report.
Yeah, probably.
Good luck with that, Johnny. Good luck with that.
Hopefully my internet doesn't blow up again. As that actually hadn't happened. So my English just went. And it happened in a long time now. All of a sudden, yeah, it happened. Oh my! What's happened on the? Was it on the main straight? Or wait, you said it was a Ascari, didn't you?
It was just coming out of Ascari.
Something's happened on the main straight. It's just a pile of front wings for me.
Oh.
Um,
I mean,
everyone's got their front wing.
Fernandez and Kopodlovsky were changing places, but I think that was just overspeed out of Parabolica. I don't think there was anything.
Yeah, there's no damage, just the game be broken.
Yeah. F1 2021 is a perfect game with no problems.
Well,
as we've seen numerous times. But the train is all caught up what's left of it, so we should have a safety car coming in this lap. The announcement will be just before Ascari, so you've actually quite a lot of time here to sort of back the train up, let the safety car go, which is nice.
So,
should be quite easy here for Bakalik to run this restart. He is going to lead the race and be on fresher tyres than the guys behind. Pena still managed to come out in P3, so these guys had a really good pace on the softs. And even with the increased pit stop time, I know, because they all pit on the stage car, apologies. So yeah, so they had really good pace on the softs and managed to jump the guys who were at the front, who pit under that virtual safety car. So it'll be interesting to see if they can keep behind the guys that started at the front, who had the more pace in qualifying. As I think Bakalik's still backing them up a little bit, and he's going to go now on the exit.
It stopped him.
Game slows him a little, and it's gone again. Thankfully at Monza it doesn't fully break.
Keeler's going to get a great restart from this. Is free white behind. Kent's all the way up to third, and now he's going to go for a move.
He's going for second here into Ratfilia, and I think he's going to make this stick. As Keeler takes a look down the inside, I've thought about making it 3 wide for a second, thinks better of it. Kent's going to keep this outside line. It's going to give him a better traction zone and a better run through Curva Grande, as we've got a spinner at the back, which is the Red Bull of Kopodlovsky, as Paul served his drive through, so it might not drop him out of the points. But he's going to have a charging champion to contend with after.
Pena trying to get down the inside, and Pena's also hit the space curbs as well, and he's gone round. Oh no.
Everyone bouncing over curbs around here.
Yeah.
This is start going about as we expected, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so Bakalik still leads, and there's now a train of 5 at the front with quite a big gap behind. 2 Palacios in the AlphaTauri in 6th place. And these 5 are going to be sticking with each other and all hanging within the DRS range. Unless someone makes a mistake, I think, because it's not the easiest place to overtake unless someone majorly balks it. As Fernandez picks up our first time penalty of the race, with 3 seconds for track limits on lap 9, which isn't bad. And he's going for a move into Parabolica.
Oh my, that was close on the inside curb there, and
he makes it stick, and obviously no DRS, so it's not going to make him weak to a run from Keeler. More so than it already would do. I mean, Keeler's going to have the slipstream and more top speed.
I mean, if you look on the stream, you can just see what I'm seeing on the main straight. There's a medium tyre, there's a hard tyre, and then there's just a bunch of front wings.
Oh, well, that's a game thing. Because, like I say, it was the exit of Ascari. I'm sure you'll see that when Mitch definitely reports it.
I assume that he just teleported the remains of their car there.
Probably. Yes, Pena pits for a new front wing, so that's why I'm going to drop him to the back of the field.
Keeler's gone for a move up the inside, and that's a great move. Manages to avoid both of the curbs as well in De La Rocha.
And we've got
Kent. Oh, that's
one and Kent's been spun. And I think he's possibly collected the Aston Martin as well. I think he's collected Rusnak in that.
Yeah, Rusnak's got damage.
To keep his car in one piece, I think, for the most part.
He had a lot of understeer through Lesmo too.
I think it might just have been a case of he had to go off track, and therefore his tyres were a bit gravelly and didn't have grip. His front wing all seems to be intact.
Ascari, and it
looks still getting some understeer, so I wonder if he has some invisible damage.
That's
sort of pale green front wing. You run quite low wings here,
he's
so
also heating his tyres. Even on the straight, I thought there would have been already a bit more heated after what just happened.
But that gives Bakalik at the lead now, a lead outside of the DRS range.
Yeah.
He's going to be chased quite hard here by the 2 behind. Fernandez still on those soft tyres. So he's going to be looking to make up to place.
They've both nearly gone over the inside curb there, and that was close.
This is carnage. It's great.
Yeah.
Are you glad you had nothing better to do with your Friday evening?
Pretty much, yeah.
And then we've got a train of 4 behind these this front 3. As Backlick's pulling out a bigger gap here. He's made half a second in the first sector, and Keeler goes off track at De La Roggia, and that's going to promote Fernandez up into P2 in the Ferrari.
Yep.
Tifosi will be enjoying one. But he's got a gap of 2.1 seconds now to catch to the lead McLaren. And I think he's probably going to spend some battery to try and do it. But Backlick basically hasn't touched his ERS. He's still set at 90% on the run down to Ascari. So he's got plenty of charge to defend with if he needs it. Fernandez is probably going to spend quite a bit here to try and get in the DRS range. Even on those soft tyres. We've got a yellow flag behind it. That's Paul Hill at the first Lesmo. Has unfortunately managed to spin the car.
It's not a good time in PC F3 at the end of the season.
Killer brake marker board on his way back to track. And we've got side-by-side into Parabolica between Rosnak and Karalak. Rosnak's going to get an outside line that should give him more speed as Keeler pits. And gets a 5-second penalty for doing so. So I wonder if he picked up some front wing damage, bouncing over all the curbs.
Karalak looking
for
a move.
Oh no, that was lag.
Well,
He
yeah,
had
I
a
was
huge
gonna say.
moment on my screen, just completely lost the car,
I saw what. Yeah, I also saw that as well. I was so confused. I was like, I thought he was gonna. I thought he was just gonna spin and then just go fully into a wall and collect Rosnak in the process, from just going flying into turn 1.
Yeah. Fernandez now has a 2-second lead over.
Oh, and he's also flying over the curbs. Well. Nice.
Bouncy. You just gotta test out his new suspension, make sure it works.
Yeah.
Just simulating board poising using the curbs.
It's essentially, a pole poising might as well just be, just repeat Monza curbs, but only on straights throughout the entire track and high-speed corners.
Just speed bumps, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
We'll have a track around where I live and watch how they go over speed bumps. Fine.
Oh, okay, yep, that's just lag again. Nice.
Kind of like lagging so much in Ascari, I think half the crowd got scared.
Yeah. It's just,
we've basically lost 3 drivers off the back. Paul's pit again, this time he's put softs on.
I think Karalak's just using his new warning system to get rid of the competition so he can win every race. Only issue is he's not at the front, so it's not working to its full effects yet.
Yeah, the thing is, because Backlick's leading, that blue shell he's got, he can't use it.
Yeah,
Jadim's going to go for a move here.
Okay, yeah, again. It seems like it's at the same 2 places consistently.
Yeah, try some late braking, we think. But does still lose the place to the Ferrari. He's going to possibly have a run here through Curva Grande. Try and get back at him. And they're going to go side by side into De La Roggia. No, Jadim manages to cover that off. Has just enough straight line speed to manage it.
I can't lie, if I was Jardim and seeing what we're seeing, then I'd be absolutely terrified. There's yellow flags, and that's Backlick who was leading this race.
Oh, and he's down to P3. As Palacios managed to get around the outside, and he has no front wing.
Yeah, he's got no front wing.
So and he's going to do some wall grinding on the run down to Ascari. He's going to have to get on the brakes very early to slow the car down here, and kind of doesn't. Just about keeps it out the gravel. But he's going to lose even more place
right
there.
He's
limping back to the pits, yeah. And drop him down to P6 already. He hasn't even stopped yet. And he's got Jordan to deal with now coming up behind him. Who is going to make it back into
yep, again. It keeps getting me every time. I just think something's going to happen, and then no, it's just him lagging.
Jadam and Karalak are going to be side by side down the pit straight, but Karalak was slightly behind, so does get the DRS. Opens up that rear wing. It's probably less powerful in Monza than most places. It's only about 7 or 8 miles an hour, but that straight's long enough that you can make the position with it. And it's going to put him up into P4 as Palacios has managed to lose a place, but stick with the Aston Martin of Rosnak, who are now 3 seconds behind leader Fernandez, although Fernandez is going to need to pit because he's done softs. So he's going to be hoping for a safety car. Backlick has managed to get back under the fuel level with that safety car we had, so nobody's going to be risking running out of fuel, which is my personal favourite trick.
Yep.
And then Paul's almost a lap down. He's just coming through Parabolica as Fernandez is coming through Ascari.
I think he's already pitted like 4 or 5 times. Maybe
He's
to have
doing
a
a
last to
lap.
first whilst
Yeah, he's
using
doing
as
a
many
last
compounds as possible.
last to pits challenge, I think it is.
Yeah.
Start last, go in the pits. Done. Easy challenge. And a gap of 3.2 opened up at the front now, so this lead is growing more and more, but he's going to have to put mediums on at some point, Fernandez. Probably doesn't want to leave it too late, because these softs are going to start feeling a little bit rough within a couple of laps.
I'm interested to see how the people who pitted for our mediums under the VSC, well, it's actually just Rusnak who's left on them now. But how he's able to manage this and what his tyre wear's going to be like at the end of the race if he does decide to go all the way to the end,
Yeah.
which, I mean, without a safety car, he might as well try.
Yeah, there wasn't really any point pitting under VSC if you were planning to go to the end, especially when it was as early as it was. I mean, maybe he's done the testing, maybe he's figured out that he can go 26, 27 laps on those mediums, but he's done about half of his stint length at this point, so they kind of need to be below about 30-32%.
Well, things just go from bad to worse for Paul. He's facing a penalty, so even if he miraculously ends up in first, then it's not always guaranteed that he'll win there.
Yeah, I think he's got that by making a fairly major issue, because he lost 1.3 seconds for his fastest lap on that run round. So I think he's definitely made a mistake in there. As Playchas is going to have the DRS,
Barely is he?
have a run at Rusnak for P2. But yeah, it gets a worst exit out of Parabolica, so I don't think it's going to get him close enough. He only gained a couple of tenths down there.
Rusnak's actually slowly closing to Fernandez as well, so I think the softs have definitely reached the end of their...
Seen their best, yeah, the crossover between the...
I think maybe Fernandez is extending a little longer and going to go for another set of softs as he's... that might be why he's losing time, actually, the fact that he's just absolutely sending it over curbs.
Softs, so he needs to use mediums. He started on the softs and he picked for more softs under the safety car.
What's he doing out on track then? Getting the bits, mate. Might as well at this rate, otherwise the mediums are almost pointless.
Yeah, I think maybe one, maybe two more laps and he's going to have to come in. I think he's just sort of gambling on another safety car. Yeah. The field's kind of spread out a little bit here. All the bottom five are nowhere near anybody. And then you're looking at sort of the smallest gaps being around about 2 seconds, as Paul does get that fastest lap now, which will get him another point. But he's not going to get anything to go with it right now because he's still 26 seconds off the back of the field. He needs to pull a Lewis Hamilton in Spain if he wants to get anything out of this race here.
Well, this race has gotten a bit quiet now. It's mainly as Rusnak slowly catching up to Fernandez, but obviously we know that Fernandez is probably just going to pit.
I mean, John's caught Jose by about half a second on that last lap, but he has spent all of his ERS to do it. You do regenerate a fair amount here at Monza because there is 2 or 3 pretty heavy braking points, but it's not going to recharge that fast. As John's got in the DRS range, gets a really good exit out of Retafilio, and that's going to put him almost exactly a second behind as Bakalik now does the fastest lap on medium tyres. So I wonder how much of his battery he's spent for that one. As Paul's looking to go even faster on his softs. Paul's looking to go even faster on his softs. So he'll be hoping to steal that point back from the McLaren drive.
Close to the back of the Ferrari, but not close enough for a...
He's going to have DRS, but yeah, you can't really make...
Jardim's using all of his battery here as Paul takes it back by mere thousandths of a second. I want to say that was. Yeah, it's about 40 thousandths, 50 thousandths even.
Yeah, so half a tenth.
I think Kent's going to probably get past Jardim on this next straight, as there we go, Fernandez has decided to come into the pits now for
finally
mediums.
Into these mediums.
As
and
someone's got a
yellow flag as Kopodlovsky, I think, had a major moment there, but managed to keep the car pointing in the right direction.
Went straight across the gravel as Kent's now up into 4th. And next stop
takes
for
a
him.
slightly defensive line going into Retafilio and then realises he doesn't need to because of the overspeed so immense. So Fernandez is going to come back out in P6, but he's going to have 12 seconds to gain on the guys in front. But he's going to have 10 lap younger tyres, so he might be able to get on the back of them before the end of the race. And if there is a safety car, he's not going to have to come in, although he may choose to and put some more softs on.
I think Kent's now just going to try and get as much time to backlick as he can as well. From the back of the grid up to 4th, so...
Yeah, he's already pulled 1.2 seconds on Jardim.
I think depending...
So Jardim's already out of the DRS range.
I think especially if Rusnak stays there, and eventually they'll get to a stage where his tyres do just go, and the guys behind will eventually catch back up again. He'll probably hold them up a bit, and potentially Kent could do this second last to first, essentially.
He's got, I think, 8 seconds to the leader right now.
And he's also caught 7 tenths to Karalak in one corner.
Yeah, he's going to have to gain a second lap as Keeler manages to make his way past Kopodlovsky on the run down into Ascari, but then has to correct the car and runs over the gravel and then spins on the exit of Ascari.
And is that him gone? No, not
He's
quite.
tapped the wall, but only just touched it, so he may have gotten away with no damage, or just minor front wing damage, possibly. But it's going to drop him down to P9 and possibly P10 here, because Pena's going to get a big run on him down into Parabolica. So I'm not sure he's going to get close enough to overtake, but he is going to get the DRS down that pit straight to possibly have a go for 9th place.
Tell you something, the drivers aren't scared to absolutely go flat out at Ascari across the exit curb.
Just send it.
Yeah.
Championship's decided, go full send.
Pretty much.
Yeah, John's half that gap now to Karalak.
Rusnak's still extended his lead at the moment, but I just fear for when his tyres are going to just go as he's...
Speedy boy. But Palacios does have a lot of ERS he can play with. Maybe try and close this back in.
Yeah.
Or we might be sort of settling for second a little bit. And choosing to save it to use it defensively if Karalak or Kent do manage to get on to the back of him.
I figured out, hey, essentially what happens with Kent is he doesn't gain anywhere, and then through Ascari he gains half a second.
Oh, good to know. He also seems to gain quite a lot at turn 1, through on the exit of Retafilios specifically. So I mean that could just be a case of Kent really nails the exit, and potentially Karalak is using traction control, which would slow you quite a lot.
We can see the delta now actually is at 1.444 on the yeah, it's about half a tenth.
About a tenth. Yeah.
So
he's still gaining some time through Curva Grande.
Yeah, so that brings it up to a tenth. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess a pretty good exit through there. So yeah, so we might see him with DRS for the next pit straight as Pena pits from 9th. So I wonder if he had any damage or if he's just choosing to pit here. But that might gift the position to Paul, despite his 17 pit stops, as now Jardim gets a 3-second time penalty. So both of Ferraris have corner cutting penalties.
Alex also caught to Kopodlovsky. Okay, well there goes all his progress of catching him.
And yeah, Paul Hill is going to jump Pagoy Pena here, coming out of pits. But he's going to be on those brand new soft tyres. And Paul's are 7 laps old, so they might start feeling a little bit worse for wear within a couple of laps, definitely before the end of the race. And the lead at the front is now up to 5 seconds.
Kent's missed out by mere thousandths. Oh no, he hasn't. He's actually got the DRS. I thought he literally just missed out, but he's managed to get it. So
the car's doing 200 miles an hour without the DRS, and John only gets to 207. So he's not going to gain a huge amount from it, but it is going to allow him possibly to save a little bit more battery here for when he finally does make the attack.
His Bakalik's now probably going to get a move on Kopodlovsky, as he's right on the back of the Red Bull. And honestly, you might as well have not bothered using the battery, as I think he would have got him regardless. However, Kopodlovsky's going to absolutely send one on the outside, and actually, it's completely a break to Bakalik.
Yeah, gets his braking point spot on there, makes the corner really well. And that's going to hold his position, and it kind of compromised Bakalik's exit as well from Retafilio. So he might not be able to get a run here into Della Roger.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to, so...
Good defensive driving from the Red Bull. Defending against the DRS is not the easiest thing to do.
Right on the back of Karalak now.
Oh, Karlak has a bit of a moment on the exit of Ascari as well, and that's just going to make it even easier.
Keelar sets to the fastest lap.
Keelar pit for new tyres as well, so he's currently down in 11th. So we might see a bit of a convergence from the back three here, with a couple of laps left.
Yeah. As Bakalik has got past Kopotolowski down towards Ascari, and I think the Red Bull will be happy to sort of just let that happen as well. Actually, he's lost quite a lot of time, but I was going to say you might be able to get him back on the main straight as Kent.
Speaking of which, Kent and Karlak side by side
goes a bit deep there, and
I think that was intentional. Stop Karlak turning in, left him a car's width, but no more. Just stopped the McLaren turning into the corner, and managed to get the position and up onto the podium.
And
he's got another 3.5 seconds to gain now on Palacios with equal tyres, so he's going to need to gain at least sort of 7-8 tenths a lap
just
to get on the back of him. But Karlak's coming with him. McLaren driver is managing to stick with the Alfa Romeo. So maybe we're going to see a bit of a convergence for second place here as well come the end of the race. That'll be fun.
But I think it depends on... Well, Karlak has to stay close because he's not having the best of runs for Ascari compared to Kent. As
he's just pretty much completely avoiding that inside curb there in the middle part of it. Which is the safe thing to do, but it's not the speedy thing to do.
Yeah.
I think he's just maximising finishing the race. Yeah, which maybe I should learn that one a bit more.
As you say that, he's almost gone straight into a wall at Parabolica. He's got a lot of oversteer.
Just different lines. Kent goes defensive. I don't think he really needed to do that with such a huge advantage here. You only gain maybe about 3 tenths down that straight with the DRS. So it's a bit of a moment from Karlak on the exit of Retafilio as well.
I think that's
going to drop him quite a way back from Jordan.
He does have a battery advantage, but he's not choosing to use it, which I think he probably should have there at Curva Grande to try and get some time, as maybe he doesn't need to, as Jordan's gone straight over the curb.
That's not the ideal line for Rudella. He's still out of the DRS range. Yeah. He lost him a couple of tenths.
Kent lost half a second there to Palacios.
Gap at the front is now 6.2, and there's no tyre warning light yet for our leader for Rosnak. So he seems to be doing alright so far. 19 lap old medium.
As Karlak trying to send it for Ascari, however, just gets on the curb on the exit and loses all the progress it made through that corner. And could have gotten the DRS just a bit, but
yeah, it doesn't seem to have lost time through there though.
Yeah, he hasn't lost
like he was doing when he was being safer.
Oh, that's
and
yellow
flags.
flags.
It's a Ferrari.
That's a boy, but I think that was just...
Fernandez.
Oh yeah, he's missing a end plate, so...
How the hell is he doing that? Specifically, like, his left end plate. How has he managed that one through Ascari? The right one I get, if you run it a bit wide and stuff. Or you sort of try and open the corner up too much and hit the outside barrier before you turn in. That I understand. Don't get how you lose your left end plate. You might have to show me that one.
So I think Palacios is running like high wings as actually no. But the thing is, Kent was gaining a stupid amount on the straights compared to what Palacios was doing, and it's just I just was thinking that he was running like 11 wings at Monza, which might as well be a criminal offence.
Interesting. Well, he used quite a lot of ERS on the run down to Ascari and didn't hit 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Jordan didn't use any and hit the same speed. So yeah, I think he is running slightly higher wings. How much, I'm not sure. I know there's a few different setup ideas for this, where some people choose to want to carry more speed through the Lesmos and through Ascari, as it opens up the middle of the lap and those two fairly long straights. Whereas some people like to run lower wings because the wing levels don't really affect you in the chicanes because it's all mechanical grip, not aerodynamic, and it's going to give you more speed into turn 1 and through Curva Grande, which are kind of the places you can overtake into the heavy braking zones of Retafilio and Della Roggia. So it's a few different options. 7.5 seconds of lead.
If Carlac hadn't have made that mistake a few laps ago, which dropped him out the DRS, then honestly he could have kept it as well. He's actually keeping with Kent very well here. It's only lost an extra 6 tenths on top of the...
Still losing about a tenth at Della Roger, and the majority of his time at Ascari, but the rest of the lap seems pretty solid, pretty hooked up.
Yeah.
Managing to keep with the Alfa Romeo driver, who did finish second in the drivers, so he's obviously a quick driver.
I think Kent might... I don't think he's going to get it by the end. He's gaining about 4 tenths a lap, 4 or 5 tenths a lap to Palacios, but I don't think he's
Pena was so close to getting into Paul's DRS for 9th place, and then just has a moment on the exit of Retafilio, which unfortunately is going to drop him back about 3 tenths. He's kind of got to do some of the work again. That is unfortunate. You always want to overtake the guy that won the championship. Just be like, look, I could beat him, honest. Yeah, John's got that gap down to under 2 seconds, and the gap to Carlac over 2 seconds now. Yeah. So he's kind of running a bit on his own at the moment in 3rd place. And there's only one full lap to go after this. So he's only going to have another couple of opportunities to make a move, even if he does get there. It's Roznak's kind of cruising. He hasn't seen anybody for a week.
There's now 8 seconds up the road, so I mean, it's just been
as far as he's concerned, he's just doing time trial with tyre wear.
Pretty much, yeah. I wonder what his tyre wear actually is at the moment.
He still doesn't have a warning light, so it's below 60%.
Yeah, which seems very odd for doing 22 laps, but
these things are pretty sturdy, it would seem.
Yes, Kent's going to be very close to Palacios' DRS, and he's actually going to get it here, going into the final lap. So will Kent be able to steal 2nd place?
That's a huge run out of Ascari.
Yeah, Palacios went very wide, and that compromised his exit of Ascari a lot. As Kent
and John gets a better run out of Parabolica as well. So he's going to have an overspeed down the pit straight, plus he gets the DRS. But he has spent all of his battery. Don't know how much of... so has Palacios, though. So they both burn all of their ERS, pretty much. He's going to have a little bit to play with through Curva Grande, but I don't think it's going to be enough to really fight the position back. As John's going to get that better exit.
This is yellow flags. I thought that was for Rusnak for a second.
Healer at the back. As Pena's managed to jump Paul. So he has managed to make that place.
Yeah.
And overtake our championship winner. Just whether we keep it on penalties, as they do both have penalties. I'm not going to check how many they are. Whether they're both 3 seconds or not.
Palacios is so close to Kent, as he's stuck with him very well, but I don't. It's just not enough, unfortunately. It is.
He's got the DRS here into Ascari though, so John's going to have to keep it clean through Ascari. If he makes a mistake, Palacios is going to be all over him.
Jordan manages to keep it quite well, and Palacios has gone into the wall, and that's not what you want to do right at the end.
Out of bit of podium, 101.
And as Rusnak's going on the exit of Parabolica now, and, well...
Easy win.
Yeah.
And he managed to lap Keeler as well. So Keeler didn't have to do that last lap. I think he sort of allowed himself to be lapped because he did have quite a gap. And John's going to come home from second to last to second to first.
Yeah.
And Carlax lagged miles off track almost into the crowd, but will take P3 for the McLaren. Plasticus crying in the chat, as I can imagine. Adam takes 4th for Ferrari, so the Tifosi will be tolerable of that, I think. As Backlick's going to complete a good race for McLaren, not quite as good as 2021, but a pretty good race for McLaren with 3rd and 5th.
Paul actually managed to get back past Hegoy here, and Hegoy's not close enough to fight Paul back, so depending on penalties, Paul might have managed to get 8th here.
Pena's not going to be close enough to fight this. Maybe if they had another run down all the way to turn 1, he might have a shot. But the line comes pretty quick and before DRS opens. So it's not going to be able to steal 8th place away from our champion.
Yeah.
Which is going to complete it.
I assume the game driver of the day is going to be Kent, which makes sense, as he did go from second last to second first. And yeah. Well,
Monza. I have not seen that emote. That's pretty class. He needs to put that wheel back so they can weigh the car.
Yep. He's going to get disqualified at this rate. As well, Rusnak started pole, led the majority of the laps, and yeah, just a
He just
pretty much
cruised it.
complete drive.
It was a time trial with Iowa.
Yep.
After pitting on like lap 2.
Kent goes from. Oh wait, no, Kent did start last actually.
How did he do that? Oh yeah, because Paul got disqualified, and disqualifying puts you right to the back. Paul got disqualified, and then John. So
Yeah.
put John behind Paul.
And Karolak gets third. Jordan fourth. Yeah, that's the rest of it. I should probably get race director. Luckily, this one's
Jardim fourth, Bakalik fifth,
not bad.
Koplovsky sixth, Fernandez in seventh. Paul Hill makes manages P8 from half a second from Hagoi Pena, and Power Palacios will still get a point despite dying a miserable death out of the sky in the last lap. As Keeler got lapped and therefore doesn't take P10 off him.
Yep.
Should have got lapped, Keeler. You've had the point.
So, well, that's going to conclude the PC F3 season then, which, well...
So, a double championship for Alfa Romeo, with Paul Hill taking the drivers and Jordan Kent finishing second in the drivers, so obviously taking the constructors.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a fight from Mercedes for a while, but it kind of fell away in the second half of the season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least we completed the task on hand to continue some form of commentator's curse here. So at least we did the job for David, what he would have done anyway. That's really all we were here for in the first place, so yeah. That's good to know. So, thank you everyone for watching this stream. Well, we'll be back with the rest of the tiers. However, then we're going to have, well, like 2 months-ish, a month and a half. As the next season will be on the next game. It'll be actually, it's almost 3 months actually. It's going to be 2.5 months. I think. I don't know what month August is. It's the end of
8.
Yeah, and we're at the end of 5, so pretty much 2.5 months, I'd say.
Yeah.
I didn't think calculating how long something like that would be the most difficult thing I've done today. But yeah. So, that is the end of PC F3 for this season. We'll probably, I mean, PC F3 next season will probably look very different, I'd assume. As the new game is completely different now, and the cars are going to be different. So, you never know. You might see Adam here. I won't be surprised.
Turning all my assists off, I'll be terrible.
You're just going to aim for PC4.
PC, whatever one I'm in on my own so I can win.
Everyone else aiming to make progression up the tiers, while you're aiming to go backwards. Yeah. So, that's going to be the end of the stream. Thank you for watching again, and goodbye.